In Henri-Georges Clouzot's classic thriller Les Diaboliques, the headmaster of a boarding school is killed by his wife and mistress, who attempt to conceal the body. As tensions rise and paranoia blooms, with suspicions that the body has shifted from their hiding spot, a swimming pool that has fallen into disuse, the two women wonder if someone else is onto their secret, eventually leading towards a build-up and revelation that is so brilliant, it remains one of cinema's greatest ever twist endings. If I were to spoil the ending for you right now, assuming you haven't seen Les Diaboliques before, would you feel as inclined to watch this masterclass in pacing, suspense and internal conflict? If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll come to recognise that I place spoiler warnings and trigger warnings at the beginning of videos where the discussion delves into revealing key details that may hurt the enjoyment of a movie for those who have yet to see it. I also sometimes receive comments asking why I include spoiler warnings for videos on classic old films, questioning whether it's possible to spoil an old movie or not. This got me thinking, can we spoil old movies? As film lovers, many of us can recognise there is a cultural, unwritten rule to not spoil a new release, a symbolic protective gesture for audiences who have yet had the chance to witness a new film themselves, so that when they get the opportunity, hopefully their enjoyment isn't impeded. While we may not enjoy every movie we see, and yes, we're likely to have the film spoiled for us from time to time, there is a general understanding that many cinema goers would rather encounter the much anticipated release for themselves before diving into discussions on its every aspect. Having a film spoiled for us that we're looking forward to can honestly suck, depending on your mindset. An instant frustration sometimes caused by a careless cinephile, but also sometimes by clumsy advertising too. Have you ever felt that a trailer, maybe even a poster, has just revealed way too much information about a film, and now, deflated, you feel no motivation to go see it? While a solid trailer can be a useful enticement to encourage viewers to see a film, recognising whether the story may or may not appeal to the audience, more than enough times has a trailer revealed too much of the narrative, spoiling its own secrets for a potential audience that may have otherwise been looking forward to its release. In reference to a study back in 2013, Ben Child, in an article for The Guardian, wrote about the frustration of having a film spoiled by its own promotional material, stating that researchers at the University of East Anglia's School of Art, Media and American Studies discovered that filmgoers are becoming increasingly irritated by overly revealing promotional material for new movies. Audiences want to be excited and teased about forthcoming films, to be emotionally engaged without feeling pummeled by excessive narrative revelation, said lead researcher Keith M. Johnston, whose team examined responses to a 2013 promo for The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug. In a separate finding, they also noted that more than 80% of people were left disappointed with a film after viewing its trailer. To put it bluntly, less is more. A better trailer will reveal less about the specifics of a film's dramatic turns, while still luring us in. Failing to do that steers an unwilling audience into spoiler territory, agitating viewers rather than enticing them. Intrigue through a narrative uncertainty can bolster a film's performance. While it's worth remembering that many audiences find spoilers irritating, it's also worth acknowledging that, for some viewers, the spoiler may also have its own perks. Angela Haupt for Time magazine summarises a key reason with clarity as to why some viewers may welcome a spoiler. People who prefer spoilers typically value predictability, ease, comfort, clarity, and a sense of control. The world is rife with uncertainty, so why subject yourself to more? For many people, not knowing what happens leads to anticipatory stress, or an increased stress response triggered by an unpredictable plot. If you're one of these types of viewers, you may read Wikipedia summaries, or even watch spoiler-filled video reviews discussing a film you're curious about, but unsure if you wish to make the full commitment in watching it, out of concern over the film's twists being too upsetting, distressing, or maybe even just simply not being your cup of tea. Angela Haupt suggested that if living is already too stressful, why force yourself to endure more? Spoiling a story, a film, while disappointing for some, may be beneficial for others, especially if they struggle with anxiety, depression, trauma, or any other condition which may be alleviated with a sense of reassurance and certainty found in receiving spoilers on their own terms. From the perspective of a content creator, I know that my videos discussing sensitive and disturbing films share a similar appeal. Somebody else watches the potentially distressing film, analysing it with transparency, offering an insight into whether this is truly something a more sensitive viewer would wish to see. Additionally, a spoiler might be annoying within the moment, but does a spoiler truly impede the enjoyment of a well-crafted, classic story? While it's not a status achieved by all movies, some films contain twists and turns so entrenched in pop culture and the artistic collective consciousness that many viewers may already know these dramatic reveals before actually seeing the film they originated from. Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back comes to mind, with the key reveal during a duel between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, something so immense that it changes the dynamic amongst these characters. The stuff of legend that has been sown throughout the movie-going culture, referenced ad nauseum to the extent that most people may know the line of dialogue before they even see the film for the first time. A similar impact hides within M. Night Shyamalan's brilliant The Sixth Sense and Orson Welles' classic Citizen Kane. Knowing these potential spoilers beforehand, however, doesn't impede our enjoyment of these classic titles. If you've seen a great film multiple times, has its impact been diminished and lessened? Usually not, because the efforts of the characterization, the thematic essence of a story, the suspense or timing of comedy, shock or horror is what will often keep a great film great. It's the journey that matters after all, not just the destination. So does that mean spoiling old films is fine? Can we spoil old stories if they've been around long enough? Boiling things down to the basics, it still remains a common courtesy not to ruin a story for people who still plan on witnessing it for themselves. While you and I may know the twist behind The Sixth Sense, which offers a new perspective to the film on a rewatch, there will still be a significant number of people completely unaware of the film, who may still wish to see it in time when they eventually discover it, either younger audiences or maybe people just not familiar with movies in general. Not everybody has seen everything, and some classics may have only just emerged on a potential viewer's radar. We all discovered something popular for the first time at some point. There's also a significance in keeping hush-hush over certain dramatic turns in a story that continue to remain greatly impactful on each viewing or reading. Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap, the final reveals of a Sherlock Holmes novel, Shirley Jackson's We Have Always Lived in the Castle, or Park Chan-wook's Old Boy. Sometimes a big part of the enjoyment is even not knowing until seeing the story for yourself, or keeping your knowledge of it discreet. In conclusion, while sudden spoilers may frustrate some of us, and others may find benefit in discovering spoilers on their own terms, it's often best to play it safe until told otherwise. Keep the spoilers to yourself until the person you're talking to has either had the chance to see the film for themselves, or has outright said they don't mind. The want to avoid or to seek out spoilers may also differ depending on the film, book, game, or play at the centre of discussion. If somebody has yet to see something for themselves, despite the age of the film, then that story is still new to them, and they may want to learn its twists and secrets on their own terms during their first viewing. It's truly a subjective experience whether somebody would want spoilers or not, but if in doubt, simply don't spoil things. For those who haven't seen Les Diaboliques yet, but wanted to know what happened next, now is as good a time as any to see the film. A special thank you to my incredible tier Patreon supporters Gil, Jared Spears of Concessions, Javier Grillo Markswatch, and my super tier Patreon supporters Spoiledzilla and Eclair.